What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Horror Film Lovers TV Mainstream Monday. How are you doing? We got John Ward here. How you doing, John?
I'm fine. How are you?
And I'm Jonathan Moody, the other co-host of the
And
show.
how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I'm tired. I ate a lot of food. So
Oh,
this,
okay.
and for context, this is Thanksgiving Day that we're recording this. So
Yes,
there was a lot of food at the house, and I ate as much as I could of it.
I
Uh,
understand. I'm solo, but I bought much Thanksgiving food and I've been eating it throughout the day.
I thought you had said that you were going with a friend or something, going over to a friend's house or
No,
something.
last year I did, but not this year. So it's
Okay.
it's kind of nice because I'm at the new apartment. So this is my first Thanksgiving. I got to spend it with the cats, and Natasha, she likes human food, so she likes meat. So I got to share some ham with her. So that was nice.
Yeah, I gave my cat and our dog that's visiting. You can't really see her. She's in the background there, just sitting on my bed. But the dog, my sister's dog, ate some a turkey. So they all had turkey. They were happy with the turkey. They
There
were
you
not
go.
complaining. I didn't see them spit it out.
That's a good thing.
I'm being a snobby dog, or whatever. But anyway, yes, so we're here to talk about Chucky season two. The season, the passion of the Chucky, as we
That's
should
right.
call it.
I watched these cop body cam videos
Hmm.
because I find it hilarious that a traffic stop just for like, oh, your taillight's out ends in a felony and then dragged off to jail. And I was kind of insulted about one today as they dragged this woman out of her car and she had a Chucky shirt on. It was just said Chucky and it had like the pride colors in it. And I'm just like, no, don't do that. Don't, just do what the cops want you to. You're obviously a Chucky fan.
Hmm.
Don't do that. So that kind of bummed me out.
Yeah, because now people are going, well, Chucky fans are bad news. They're bad.
Yeah. They
They're troublemakers.
yeah, they
I'm
don't
wearing my Chucky thing. Like I've wore this a bunch of times through this thing, but because one of my favorite Chucky shirts.
it's a good shirt.
Um, but my favorite. I mean, I've talked about this on I think three or four times already. But Lolo hugged me because of it, so I will forever love this shirt. I get a free
You know,
hug from
you
Lolo.
you've explained to me who that is, and I still have no idea who that
Well, because you never
is.
probably listened to her music yet, you know. Yeah, I mean, I say yet, but it's probably not your cup of tea
Yeah.
anyway.
No, probably not. And
No, she's more pop punk, but she's like kind of alternative right now. I don't really know how to describe her. Paul doesn't like her music, but thinks she's adorable.
okay, well there you
You
go.
know, there you go. So we're gonna talk about Chucky season two, and before then, I guess we got some toys to show you. So, and things and stuff.
Yeah.
But the first one I wanted to show, the only thing I've got is I bought this for well, originally I bought it for me, and then my nephew really liked it, so I was like, I gotta give it to him. And then my other sister's dog really liked it, so she chewed on it.
Oh.
And here it is. It is a Chucky rubber ducky,
Oh,
and that
okay.
looks good right there, except he got
Vicky's
his head's all chewed up.
brain is missing.
I
Okay.
know. Um, I mean, there's things inside it. Ew. The
Is
somebody
that
put
the
a
top of its head?
no, somebody put a sticker. It's a Bluey sticker from it's Bingo from Bluey sticker.
Uh,
Heck, I didn't even realize that. I was like, what is in that thing? I thought it was part of the head, right? That just like
yeah,
collapsed
maybe it
into
just
it.
fell in. Yeah.
Right, but no, it was somebody put a sticker in it. I guess I'll keep it in there. Why not? That's where the bingo sticker goes. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was not what I expected. I did not put that on my 2025 bucket list or bingo list. All right. Your turn to show us some fun little cute little things.
So I have two things. My old coworker, Kasha, I was her assistant. She was my manager. She was moving from house to house, and her son had a box. and it was stuff to either throw away or take to Goodwill or whatever it is. She knows I'm a Chucky fan, and she got me for my birthday one of my Chucky's Funko Pops that I have, which is pretty cool. And she found this in the son's box, and she's like, "Oh, I thought that you might like it." I have no idea what else. There's three parts to this. So there's this guy,
Nice.
and like his head turns, arms move, legs
Does
move.
his head turn
Oh
backwards like
wow. How
Exorcist?
did I do that? Did you see that go
I
in?
see that, but I thought you did that.
No. Wow, I've never noticed that before. Maybe
Mm,
it's to get it into focus?
no, mine doesn't do that.
Huh, that's weird. I've never, there must be something on
That you
Zoom.
did something because
Yeah.
now mine doesn't do that. I'm kind of mad. Why doesn't mine do that?
So
Ah,
so there's him, and then with it, it comes with two separate heads. So this is like crazy Chucky looking. So I guess you could pop off his head and put this one on. And then there's another one, which is, I don't know, they both look crazy. They look like the same head.
Maybe they are.
I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. You would think they would be different.
Yeah, it
Try
looks a
to.
little different, I think. Yeah, he's smiling a little differently or something. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, his mouth is more open. So I don't know. Maybe they are different, but just slightly, just the heads. So I got that. So that's on my Chucky shelf. So I thought that that was pretty cool because I have no idea because his hands look like they're made to hold something like a knife or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I guess she didn't have that. And I'm fine with that. And then I watched Chucky season two on Blu-ray. So I have
Cool.
Chucky on the Throne, which is nice. And it's Blu-ray and it's got its slipcover. And we have Strong Chucky on the back,
Nice. You know,
all
with the
buffed Chucky.
buff Chucky.
Yeah. And then, yeah, they really like buff Chucky on this because there he is again. He's right
Mm-hmm.
there. And then, oh, and then
He was like one of the main characters. One of the main
there,
ones.
there's Nice Chucky is right there.
How about Colonel Chucky?
No, I don't see him here.
Oh,
No. But it simply just says on the back, Holy Hell.
ah,
So
I get it. Because
yeah,
it's a
so
religious.
very, very happy with this. So that's what I watched it on. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Are you about ready to talk about it?
Yeah, well, I'll ask the first question if you don't mind. So compared to season one, what did you think?
I mean, I think it was a continuation of season one. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't any better, it wasn't any worse, in my opinion. It was the same sort of thing, you know. I liked it just the same. I like there were some moments that were fun, but then there were some moments that it's like about there was nothing I was like, oh, I can't believe this, whatever. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, okay. I think this is much better than season one.
oh no,
Each season seems to have its own thing. Like I think season one is more the Cape Fear episode or season, and this is the obviously the Catholic school one. And I think that it's hilarious that they sent Chucky to Catholic school. So or whatever this is,
I
Catholic detention or whatever, or
yeah, cat. Well, it was supposed to be boarding school or
boarding school.
whatever,
That's the word
and
yeah.
that I thought was cool because they didn't get into the boarding school until the second episode. But I mean, they were going there on the first episode, but they didn't get there till the second episode. And because the first episode was like, "Where's Devon Sawa? I thought he was on the show," and he was not in the first episode.
No.
But he comes back in the second episode where we get to meet him as Father Bryce, and he honestly, I liked him better than either of the two guys he played, the twins he played in the first season. I did like him a lot better. Uh, he he was more of a villain, you know, and I kinda, was more of a villain than he was with the other guys.
Well, I guess compared to the other, because he's like the only priest. So I guess compared to the other nuns, he was the
No,
most
there was another
strict.
priest. There was another priest. Remember, there's another father who died in the taking Catholic
Oh,
confessions
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
In the confessions, yeah, the older priest. Yeah. Then
Yeah.
there's like the older nun who has the heart attack, which is
In the
hilarious.
second episode,
Yeah. He's like, "What? Thank you."
it was funny. Yeah, that was great. That was probably my favorite line because then he goes, "Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna pray?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "That is the best line." Like, oh my God, I want that as a t-shirt. That was great. But I did love that Chucky. Like I loved the silliness of a lot of the Chucky. I wasn't a big fan of the Colonel. Let me be honest. I just maybe it wasn't maybe he didn't have enough, screen time or something for me to really like
But
care
you
or
you
not.
got the joke, right, of who that's supposed to be.
He was supposed to be Marlon Brando,
Yeah,
in
from
Apocalypse
Apocalypse Now.
Now, and but it was the joke went on a little too long, I think. Especially that montage from there. I felt like it just went on and on. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I get what you're doing.
It didn't bother because I like that yeah, he was bald. He sounds like Brando. He's got the necklace that has the Chucky ears on it.
Hmm.
And when he's about to die, it goes to the the ending of Apocalypse Now, where he's like
The
the
horror.
horror, and I thought that
But
was
he kept going and it kept going. Maybe that was how long the actual, like, Apocalypse Now scene went, because it's been forever since I've seen that. But it just, I felt like it just went a little bit too long. And not that that was a bad thing or whatever. Like some people were probably okay with me. I was kind of like, let's hurry it up a little bit.
well, they tend to go a little long on the stuff with good Chucky went on a while, buff Chucky went on a while,
Good
so.
Chucky, Good Chucky, I actually really, really thought was adorable. And I was kind of team Jake at that particular moment, going, he's so sweet. But then like I get it because like he does turn, and I'm not even sure. It confused me. Like, is he really like, is he messing around, or is really like kind of he's flipping between being good and being bad again? Like, is his brainwashing wearing off, and stuff?
I think he's Jekyll and Hyde.
Um, so
I
like
think he goes,
some goes back and
yeah,
forth.
evil Chucky comes out, and then he kind of snaps back into good Chucky, and he's like, Jake, what did I do? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. It's just like, oh no. And then he would jump back over to bad Chucky and throw somebody out a window. So
Yeah. By the way, what did you think of Nadine, the girl, the roommate of Lexi's?
I liked her.
I liked her a lot too. I thought she was cute. Like she had
Yeah.
moments that were just like, okay, I really like this. I've been watching a little bit. Like I need to actually watch the whole thing of Wednesday. This kind of reminded me of Wednesday, and I don't know which one came first. I think this came first before Wednesday. But you haven't seen Wednesday yet, have you?
I watched one episode and stopped.
Okay. So, like most of the show takes place at a sort of a boarding school, but it's like not a religious boarding school. It's more like a boarding school for weirdos, and stuff, outcasts, people who kind of like Harry Potter boarding school.
And that's why I stopped watching it.
I
I
don't,
thought they should have done the exact opposite, is that Wednesday should have been at this boarding school for weirdos and outcasts and stuff, and then she does something normal, and they're like, oh, and now she has to go to the regular high school. So you flip it to where she's at the regular high school and she lets the piranhas go. And now, so you flip that. So originally she's at the good school or at the weird school. She does something really horrible that's normal. Then you put her in high school where she has to deal with the jocks and the mean girls. And,
that's a cool.
and
I mean, that would have been a fun concept
I
too,
think
I
that's the
think.
way. Why would she not want to go to this weird boarding school. That doesn't make any sense to me. And why would it? Because I think she mentions that her parents went there, or at least Morticia went there or
Mhm.
something. Maybe it was
Yeah,
Gomez,
I think
somebody
no,
that
it was
she,
it was Morticia because she was sort of like an alumni there, or
yeah.
whatever.
So why wouldn't you, if you've gone there before, that's where you would send your kid? Why would you
Whatever.
send them to high school? That does. So I stopped. I said, nope, not working for me. I'm out. So I stopped watching it.
Yep.
I'll stick with
Oh,
stuff with Chucky.
Uh, yep. So
Did you like the different how they keep introducing new Chucky's all the time? Was he's just not like a normal doll. Now he is buffed Chucky, or he's the Colonel, or
I mean, I'm kind of sad that they kind of like, I mean, because at the end we see that he wasn't the last Chucky. There was another
never
Chucky.
never is.
So there's gonna be probably another Chucky after that, another Chucky after that, whatever. There's always another Chucky somewhere. There's always another doll that's been made, and they can't be the last one.
Oh, never.
Um, but I don't know. I'm trying to think if I mean, I like the different personalities. They kind of explored that with Cult of Chucky, and then they kind of really explored that with season one, where you get to see these other Chuckies talking to each other, and everything before the house blew up and everything. Um, honestly, this is gonna sound sad. I kind of wish Kyle had died in the house when it blew up, because in my opinion, now it just seems like they're just gonna keep surviving all the people. There's no fear of permanent, somebody could die, you know.
I since they because they showed how Alex survived, which,
Mhm.
of course, we're supposed to think he's dead, and then we see that the Chuckies, drag him away. I think they should have done the same thing with Kyle. I think that they should have, because Chucky goes, the whole house blew up. How did you survive? And that's when it should have, I think, cut to her, and we see how she escapes. And if it makes sense, then it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, fine. But they don't explain it at all. Like, she
Yeah.
was supposed to die, and then they went, let's bring her back. But we're not going to explain it. We'll just go, but the whole house blew up.
Like, I hate to say, because I love Kyle. I love Christine who plays Kyle and everything. Like, I love that. Like, don't get me wrong. But once you have something that epic happen, and then the next season you're just like, eh, you know, we'll bring her back. It's a Chucky show. Nobody will care. People care because, like, the whole idea is like, okay, you show a TV show, and or let's look at the franchise like Scream, right? They kill off Dewey, right? You know, Dewey gets killed in Scream 5, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But say he came back in 6, right? And they said, "Oh, you didn't die. He was in the hospital this whole time," right? I think people would be pissed because, like, the whole point is we just had a like we just had a moment as fans of seeing somebody we cared about, die, right? And that's supposed to hit us hard and make us feel sad. And then if they just bring it back, it's like you're just taking away the
He
one
is
thing.
back.
I
He's in
know. Well,
seven.
his voice is back. The way that it's going. I agree with a lot of people what the deal is. They're not bringing the people back. They're bringing the voices, and they're going to be ghost face voices. So she's going to be haunted by the voice of Matthew Lillard, and all these people who've already died. Because if they literally bring Matthew Lillard back after a TV fell on his head. Not even like one of the shitty flat screen things that probably would just break, in half or something, but like literally a TV that goes through your head, and you know that was plugged in no less. So the electrocutes you and all that stuff. They do that. They bring him back. I will never like this Scream series again, and I will think Kevin Williamson, because Kevin Williamson even said Matthew Lillard is dead. You know, for him to bring him back would be like I don't trust him anymore. I don't trust
I
the
mean, I
whole
guess
series.
voices are fine. I wouldn't mind. I mean, we're already on part seven. So, I mean, why not just bring everybody back? If this, let's say if this is the last one, just bring everybody back. Who really
Yeah.
cares? Because it doesn't matter that, like we said, there's always one more Chucky.
Hmm.
And there's now with multiverses and all this type of stuff, it doesn't matter anymore. If somebody dies, they're just going to come back in the next movie. I mean, there's always, especially in like the DC universe, there's
Waller.
like 20 flashes. They have like 50 years. No, I think now it's 70 years. I think they just had an anniversary. 70 years of flashes. So if one flash dies, you just bring in another flash. It's just Marvel could be the same thing. There's been a,
I'm just tired of it. Like I
a
want
lot of
things.
people are.
I mean, so with the with Marvel, they say this whole multiverse thing is going to end when they reset the whole thing, you know. I hope that's the case, but even DC said that they said like the Flash was going to be the last one, and then what happens with Peacemaker? He goes back and he goes back in time and goes into a multi, you know what I mean? So like they can still keep it around, I guess, if they need it, but like just stop. Just stop at this because it's getting like I think even South Park made fun of it because it's starting to get to the point where there's no point, you know? Like there's nothing at stake anymore. If you know you can bring somebody back at any time, then why do I care? Why am I going to care if somebody dies or something happens? I won't.
Well, to take this back to Chucky, that was always one of my favorite things with the movies. He gets shredded in one film. How do we bring him back for the next one? I've always enjoyed that. From film to film, they never forget that he was killed in the previous movie, and then they figure out a way of bringing him
Right.
back.
But
And I've always liked that, which is once we started realizing that there could be 1,000 Chuckies, and he could splinter his soul. There, when Chucky dies, he's not going to die. That doll will die,
right.
but the soul will be in another one.
Yeah, because his soul possesses whatever. So like it's not Chucky that it's not Chucky's Charles Lee Ray's body that's in there. It's his soul, right? So his soul gets, goes into this to the doll. And then when he blows up, his soul goes into another doll. And then his soul goes into another doll because his soul's still around. Even if his body's gone, his soul's just going to find another place. It's kind of, it goes with the whole theme of this year too, with the religious stuff, with exorcism. When um I forgot, was it Exorcist that had it first, where like once they cast out the spirit can go into another person, you
Well,
know?
in the original Exorcist, it went out of Regan and went into the priest, and
And
that's
then
why
he
he
then he
jumped
like
out the
yeah jumped out
window
the window and
to kill himself.
to
Yeah.
kill himself and stuff. So yeah, and they did a lot of Exorcist stuff. Like I loved the your mother sucks cocks in hell, and like, oh yeah, we've seen this movie. It's like, no, but your mother really does suck
Yeah.
cocks in hell. I'm just which was really funny because Devin was already really pissed off at him. Like that just was like a little bit of a jab at him.
You
Um,
know, I got this bringing up, like Devin and Jake. So I've been watching this is to go back to the multiverse and stuff, is I've been watching Arrowverse, and they
mhm.
have a ton of shows. So I'm on Supergirl right now. And
Supergirl.
I
I like her.
watch,
I like the girl who plays
oh, she
Supergirl.
is hot and she looks
Melissa
awesome.
Benoist. Yeah,
Yeah, she is amazing in that suit. But it's funny that nobody could tell that she's Supergirl because she has a dent right here in her forehead. And both Kara and Supergirl have the same dent. So it's like, why wouldn't you go, hey, that's weird. You guys have the same dent. Oh my God, you're Supergirl.
You're a Kent
But
that has that dent.
well, and now they explain it's the glasses. So
Uh,
that's been out there for a while. It isn't just in James Gunn's Superman, directed by James Gunn. It's where he explains it's the glasses, and I guess the
okay.
glasses were also in this one in Supergirl. But my point with this is, season two is the worst thing I've ever seen. God, that season two is awful, and they do a lesbian subplot. So basically,
Mm.
Supergirl's kind of like adopted sister. She comes out of the closet. She starts having a relationship with one of these girls that's in like the police or whatever she's in. And when they do this relationship with them, the story stops dead. And I'm just like, oh fuck no. And it's just them making googly eyes with each other. So, oh no, no, you wanted steak and I wanted chicken. And it's just like, what the fuck does this have to do with the plot? This has nothing to do with the story. Move on. But to go back to Chucky, the with Devin and Jake with their gay story, it moves the plot forward.
Well,
So
because they're
they
not
get mad at each other because Jake wants to help good Chucky. Devin wants to kill it. It messes up with their
that's
relation.
some of it, but like there's still other things and they talk about it the whole time. It's like, you know, in the beginning, the first episode, uh Jake does not come to visit Devin for like Halloween or whatever and stuff. And that really irritates Devin because they hadn't seen each other in a while, and that was like the one thing he was planning on. And it was because he's trying to have a normal life without now that he thinks Chucky is gone. You know, he thinks he's gonna have a normal life. He can get on with himself. He can have this new foster family with that little bratty kid that keeps saying "Holy torpedo, Batman."
Oh God.
That kid,
How hilarious is that they blow up a kid?
honestly, it was the one time that I'm like, blow up the kid. I'm fine with it because
Oh, he was
as
annoying.
you're so annoying. And I, I mean, because normally when even like kids and pets, I'm generally like, you don't do, you don't do that. I'll cry, for kids and pets because they're children. They don't know, they usually don't know any better. But I'm like, the dude is the kid, oh my God, doesn't know this doll, this talking doll that's hanging out with him. And yet he brings him to the house, some like the Ubering, which I thought was interesting to hear that
Yeah,
then
that Chucky
maybe
can now Uber.
where does he get the money?
I guess he just kills somebody and takes the money. Or in this case, maybe the kid paid for it. Like he would steal the money from his mom,
I
and then they
don't
would pay for the
know.
Uber that
They
way.
have to have an app, so they have to have the phone, which they have a phone. They show that phone later, the phone that they have that
Well,
has all
because
the
Chucky's
pictures.
using it. So with Devin and Jake fighting and in their relationship, what happens right after? They get the phone call.
You're right.
And which is very Scream. The
Yeah.
voice of Chucky even sounds like Scream.
No,
But
it does. I mean,
my
it does.
whole
It does it the whole thing. It does even the beginning of like, I think you got the wrong number. Why did you dial it again? Kind of scene from the first Scream. So I thought that was funny because they called it Halloween 2. Did you notice that this season had nothing but movie titles and stuff?
yeah.
Generally movie titles. There's Halloween 2. Then the third season I looked up and it's nothing but movie titles. This had titles kind of changed a little bit, but that one actually literally has like every title is a movie title or whatever. So that was interesting. But anyway, yes. It was Halloween 2, and yet there was Scream, and later there's Silence of the Lambs, and there's a lot of movie references in this movie. It's very tongue in cheek.
Oh, Chucky with the is that season one where he has the Hannibal Lecter
No,
mask?
it's the season 2, it's this
It's
one.
this season? Yeah,
Because yeah,
that
he put him in the closet
oh,
thing,
that's right.
whatever.
Yeah.
With
So he
that.
can't, yeah, to get to anybody, and then he still convinces. See, I like this because it's being an atheist and being in loving religious movies, especially horror religious movies. And like I just watched The Unholy, which I thought was great. And it's I love just the idea of Chucky running around, this school, and the Devon Sawa being the overbearing, priest that just everything has to come from the Bible. Everything has to, oh, you murdered somebody? Well, just go read the Bible.
I
You know,
I love that one passage he found that was like John 8:44. That was great. Did you remember what that was?
no.
Okay, let me read it to you because I don't even know if you looked it up, but it is one of the craziest ones in the it says, "You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies." I was like, damn. That's a hardcore verse to say. It's like you're saying you're a fucking son of the devil, like you need to become a son of God, I liked it. I thought that was good. I like all the religious stuff in it because you don't see that handled well with people who are atheist or against religious, thing. And I'm not saying that Don Mancini is, but I'm saying like he's gay, so there's got to be a little bit of, not non-like toward, you know, the religious Catholic
Well,
especially.
I mean, he might have even gone to Catholic school as a kid. I mean, a lot of these people write about that because they went to it and
I
they're just
think
like,
so. Like I bet that was a thing, because I it does feel like somebody who had been there probably had a romantic relationship with somebody at a school and they don't I mean I was actually surprised about how sort of nice um Father Bryce is because like he saw them kissing, you know, and you would have thought that he would have like really punished them hardcore at that point, but he kind of let them off the hook a little bit.
well,
Like,
he does have Devin read and everybody misquotes it because we see it. It comes up on screen. You know, man shall not lie with man, and because that's the one quote that a lot of Christians and conservatives quote, against gay people, is that, well, the Bible says you can't be gay, but which is really funny is not far from that is also, a passage that says thou shalt not desecrate their own body. But yet you have all these religious people with tattoos and everything. So it's just like, okay, Mr. Hypocrite. But
mhm.
so he does have him do that. So he's not Mother Superior, from Silent Night, Deadly Night. He's not going
Right.
around slapping people with rulers. He's harsh, and I was agreeing with him through most of this because the old man that does the confessions who dies, you know really nothing about him except he's an old dude. Then you have the old nun who's probably more traditional nun, like religious. And then you have the black nun who's more progressive. I
Hmm.
didn't like her. And I thought she was fine. Like she's a nice person, but eh. And then because there are, you should be held accountable for things. And then you have crazy nun who worships Chucky and thinks he's the second coming, which then
I loved her.
and then I think it was the old nun who goes, "Didn't you see Jesus in a taco the other day?" Not taking her seriously at all.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then I think even Father Bryce said something too about that stuff. Like you keep saying this, but it doesn't. Yeah, right. And that's just because he said, because what's his name? Chucky comes up and goes, "I have risen," and stuff like that. And she's just completely buying it. Like I don't know. She's like one of those people who just completely like disregards anything other than what people like the bullshit people say. Like I guarantee you she'd be like a flat earther kind of person, or whatever.
Well, she's definitely a follower. She would be the one to worship Jim Jones and force people to drink the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
She drank the
So,
Kool-Aid.
you
Poor
know,
girl.
yeah, so it's so I liked all the characters in this. I thought that was good, and then the every season, and I forget what it is in the third season. Fucking Lexi, man. Everything's got to be about Lexi. She changes a little bit, but everything now she's on drugs and now she's addicted to drugs and everything is about her and they tell her you need to stay and watch Chucky. We're a team. And she's like, "Oh, really? Come on." And then she leaves and then Chucky, good or bad, takes off. And it's like everything is about fucking Lexi and about herself.
Hmm. Well, remember even Caroline says that to her. Like this isn't all about you, or somebody said it about you. Somebody said it to her. I don't, maybe it was her friend. Somebody said, "This isn't about you. This is about, and I think that hit her hard at one point because she was the type of girl who always, 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 always makes it all about like her at that moment and everything like that. And it wasn't. It was about the team. It was about and sometimes about Jake and Devin situation because they were having a lot of stuff going on. A lot of times I mean, it wasn't about her mom. Her mom is just like her. They are so much alike, that it's scary at times because they don't want to be alike. They hate that they're like, but they are, the mom mayor who was not a mayor because she lost the election because she was a shitty mayor. She was the worst mayor ever, like, period.
Well, in her introduction is you think she's changed. And you
Yeah.
think that, oh, she's nice mom now. And
I was
then
like, wait, what's going on here? This is weird.
and then you realize that it's her live streaming.
Yeah. And they caught her. Like, I think Lexi knew that that was happening, saw like the camera and stuff, and knew that she could like get her mom to like, be nice about all this stuff because she can't piss off her followers. She can't look like she's the bad mom, or whatever.
Right.
But I honestly think telling having if the mom said, "Oh, sweetie, that's nice that you invite your friends over, but let's go get them a hotel instead of having them stay here," would be more what a mom would have done than say, "Oh, yes, let's welcome our home to two homosexual boys who are, well, they haven't done anything yet, as far as I know, as far as we know."
They've kissed, but I think it goes further in season three, if
I
I
mean,
remember
I think
correctly.
that, I mean, I get what Don is doing because he's trying to, um, each season he's trying to push the envelope. I did love that they mentioned because they have Liv Morgan there, for one episode, my least favorite episode, and I told you about that, and that
But
might be
and
your
I
favorite,
and I
but
didn't respond because that is my favorite
I
episode, is
had a
episode
feeling,
5.
I had a feeling it was your favorite episode. I think it was episode 4, wasn't it?
4 or 5, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it
it
was
was 4.
5.
I think it's 4 because it was like halfway through and I was, oh my God, I was so angry. Um it was 4. It was Death on Denial. Which because it was a supposed to be a parody of like the murder
Yeah.
mystery ones like, there's a was it Death on
Yeah,
the
it's supposed to be
Nile
like
or
an
something?
Agatha Christie,
Yeah,
like dinner murder party unintentionally meant. What I liked about that is, of course, it's the reunion of Bound, which I really liked, and because we had Gina Gershon there and Joey Pants, and they all make fun of each other. I
and want to have
loved,
sex with each other, you know.
yeah,
'Cause
well,
that's
yeah,
because that's what Bound was all about anyway, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, and then you have Meg Tilly show up and
Meg
playing,
Tilly.
they're all playing themselves. And I read a long time ago, you heard about this. when they were competing, when Jennifer and Meg were competing against each other, and that they didn't like one another, and that they didn't get along, and that there was a lot of jealousy between them. And they played off that. So I'm guessing they made up at some point. But then there was all that stuff about the Academy Awards and, movies and TV shows and,
And was
you
it
know,
Meg goes, she always, people, she always tells everybody that she's the younger one or younger one, or whatever. And everybody believes that because, or something like because I know what Meg had actually started. Um, so what Jennifer Tilly is the younger one. Uh, Meg Tilly started what is it uh Meg Tilly started before got famous before Jennifer Tilly did, and they even talk about that, she mentions that and stuff, and I thought that was interesting because even though it's a written tel written TV show, the people who write it have to know a little bit about Jennifer and Meg, right? So they probably went to them and said, you know, give us some information that we could put into this thing about
well,
you
that's what
guys.
I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that they are taking from their past. They're fine now, but they're taking stuff from the past that they can be catty about or bitchy about or just kind of just slap each other with. Just I'm blanking on the exact word I want to use, but it's I thought all that was hilarious. And the one thing that I don't know if I don't know if this was what really Don Mancini was saying with this. So you have the guy, the actor that's supposed to be like the butler who's guarding the door.
Yeah, he was
And
basically getting paid to be a butler, but he's only there to be like a guard, you know.
right, and he's the body. So they who killed the butler? But he's I'm going to say he's me because I don't want to put you in it either. But he would be me. That would be my point of view in this episode is he's making fun of them going back and forth when they're all talking about pronouns and all this stuff. And then he makes the joke that what they're saying aren't pronouns. He goes, "You guys, these aren't even pronouns." And he's making fun of them. He's putting them down. And I'm just like, what is Don Mancini trying to say with this? Is he saying, oh, this guy is just like a jerk, a hater, and he's not accepting of pronouns, and so he's making fun of it? Or is he correct? Is he having this guy say it because pronouns are made up, non-binary is made up? These are things that don't exist. And even though Joey Pants goes, hey, words evolve, well, they do when they make sense. So this is now my third time watching this, and I still don't know in that dialogue exchange between the butler and it's one of the two. I don't know if it's Glenn or Glenda who he's talking to, but there's a couple other people there too. Like, what is he saying?
I mean, I can't speak to Don Mancini and his what he thought. I I don't really even have an opinion on it because I let people be who they are, whatever they are, So he wouldn't be me in that situation. I would never have said that. I would have respected
I
their
would not.
pronouns. Yeah, I
No,
would.
because I don't believe if I walked around in a bunny suit and said I was a bunny, would you then say John's a bunny? No, you'd go, John, I think you need therapy. Maybe you should be on medication. You
So
know,
there,
you you know.
I saw a skit and I was telling my niece, whose name's Lexi, about this skit I watched today, and it's very short, but it was like this woman saying, "Oh, my daughter recommended this place, right?" And then he goes, "Oh, cool." And he goes, "I got a picture of her, and it's a dog, right?" And he goes, "Oh, I thought you meant a real daughter, your real daughter." And she goes, "That is my real daughter." He goes, "No, that's not your daughter. That's a dog." right? And so throughout the whole thing, she keeps having conversations. She like sees the dog and she's like, "Oh, my daughter's here." It's like, "That's not your daughter, that's a dog," all the way to the end.
Well,
And
yeah,
yeah,
that's true. That's like I consider my two cats my kids, but they're cats. They're not kids. They're
right. But
cats.
you know this. You're
But
not,
yeah, so
even
but
though
I
when
do
somebody
look at
says that, they're
them
not really your kids. They're your cats. They're your pets. They're
yeah.
not. They're
But you have to acknowledge it. So if somebody came up to me and said, you have to respect my pronouns, I would say, go fuck yourself. And it's like, I'll say whatever I want. You could go do whatever you want, I'll say whatever I want. And it's like you're not going to demand something of me. So that's why I found that exchange of dialogue from the butler, who I think is supposed to more represent me, of what does Don Mancini really mean with that? Does he see the butler just as a dumb, stupid bloke who doesn't understand and is not willing to accept it? Or is he actually saying they, them, all that stuff, they're not pronouns?
I like once again, I don't know because not my place to make any assumptions on what other
Because
people are.
one of the things with that episode that drove me nuts is, and I forget if it's Glenn or Glenda, that one of them gets shot and she's on the ground. And
Who's Glenn?
it's Glenn. Okay, so then Glinda comes up and goes, "We need to get they to a hospital. Your twin is bleeding out on the ground. Can you maybe not worry about the freaking pronouns?"
Well, she
And
didn't like.
just
She just said that like as a normal. She didn't like. She didn't have to think about it. That's just the way she talks about her.
so when they gets into the hospital, into the ambulance and into the hospital, do you then keep saying they?
Yeah,
No, the doctor needs to know that this is a woman.
that's
It's that simple. You
she.
you don't sit there,
But I think things are changing too, unless they don't, because we're living in the world we're living in now, where a lot of the woke kind of talk and that kind of stuff is kind of going away. But like, I think hospitals were at one point going to have male, female, non-binary,
you
trans.
can't. They will die. You can't sit there and say, I even read that somebody said that like if somebody says, "What is your blood type?" They said that's racist. You can't ask me what my blood type is. So if you go into a hospital and a doctor's like, "Okay, you're going to die. I need to know your blood type." And you're like, "You can't ask me that because it's racist."
Nobody's going to say that when they're saying they
I've
need
seen
to.
I've seen people talk about it on TikTok.
I,
I'm
I
not saying that's necessarily real, but if this is the attitude, or somebody goes into a hospital and says, "Oh, I'm non-binary." Oh, okay, so you're a man or a woman. I'm non-binary. We kind of need to know this because men and women get treated differently. Well, I'm non-binary. Okay, so now you could just die in a hallway.
I mean, look, if
That's why
people are
this
that at so, but
it drives me. That thing drove me nuts with her saying they. Just
and even their what is it license said they them.
well, that I found funny. That I
Okay.
did find funny.
Oh,
That yeah, yeah, because that I think it was meant to be funny.
right.
But it's I don't know, to kind of get off this tangent, because I do have a big issue with this stuff.
I understand, and it's not. Me personally, I don't. You know me. I've always been like that. I have a lot of trans friends, and I respect everybody's pronouns. Myself. That doesn't mean I have to. I'm not going to tell you have to respect somebody's pronouns. If you don't in front of the person, that's between you and them. They them. You know, right? I
That's
don't make
between him or her.
or him or her or they or them, whatever you guys come up with at the end of the day. I don't I don't care. Is if somebody asks me to do something like that because it's something that if somebody said, I'm a cat, like you said earlier or whatever, and they want to be nice. I'll just be like, all right, be a cat.
No, you need to be put into a straitjacket and into a padded
Not me.
cell.
I don't think so.
No, because
I
that's
think I let them do what they
if
want to
if
do.
some guy's walking around the street going, "I'm Napoleon," and he's in the whole Napoleon costume, I don't know, you might want to call the cops and have him get some help, get some therapy, because you're not helping anybody. I
What
mean,
if
if
he
somebody's
transitioned to Napoleon?
got the hair done
Yeah,
and he's
everything. He
sitting there
just,
with his hand in his jacket.
yeah. I mean, if you know,
Hey,
well,
my grandmother used to think that she was in another life Cleopatra, and it was like, okay, Graham, because you and like 1,000 other women think that they were Cleopatra, and I don't think any of you were, but certainly can't be 1,000 of you.
what was that? Was that scene in like Ghostbusters where he's like, have you or anybody in your family been diagnosed schizophrenic, insane, whatever? And then she was like, my cousin thought he was Saint Jerome. He goes, I say that's a big yes. you know, because, you know, like, but nowadays it might not be too crazy. People, he thinks he's Saint Jerome. Let him be Saint Jerome. That's just the world we live in
Hey, you
now.
can be Saint Jerome just in a hospital with bars on the windows and where you're on medication. That's fine. That's I if somebody has schizophrenia, you would go have them get help. So
Well,
it's
I actually I think I told you about this. I have a friend who has schizophrenia, and the thing is, she has pills that she would take, but she'd rather smoke weed, and weed ruins the pills, does not help the pills. She's supposed to be clean, not do any kind of drugs while she's taking the pills. And whenever she does that, it really messes with her. She
that's no
told
good.
me once that she could communicate telepathically with Trump. She said
So she's to blame.
she could no, at the time she thought she did because she told Trump to chill out in 2016 and he did. And she said that was me. And then she said she could communicate with Kanye West. And same thing. I have like a three-way call with Kanye West and Trump. And I was like, and then so, but before then, I said something against Kanye, and she gave me a look. And I was like, uh, yeah, I don't like Kanye. I don't think Kanye is a good person. And
Nobody
she did not.
does.
No, she does because she can talk to him.
So
You
she
know.
likes Hitler?
Well,
That's
if she could
Kanye's.
talk, if she could talk to Hitler, she'd probably like Hitler too.
She seems to talk to bad people.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that 'cause, but it's just, it's one of those things. But that was 2016, I think. That was before all the craziness that Trump brought
Well,
in.
so what pills do you think Lexi was taking?
She was.
Do they tell you? I
They
forget.
don't tell you, but they did say something about they could get her like Klonopin and Prozac and those things, but I don't think it was those. I think it was something worse because Nadine visited her as a angel to try to tell her to stop doing those because we needed you to stop Chucky, which I think was an act of God, in my opinion, maybe because you know God didn't come down, but God sent somebody to go there to help her because they needed her. She was a big integral part to the whole, stopping Chucky from, because it could have been like an antichrist kind of situation or something. So
Well, I wouldn't say that it was God. I would say that it was her mind thinking it because of her surroundings and where she's at. That's
yeah,
what
maybe.
she would hallucinate seeing. And even if she saw Nadine as like an angel, that would make sense because of her surroundings and being on drugs. But I mean, it's like I get with what happened to her that she would want to get on drugs or whatever it is to kind of escape everything. But it's once again, it's just everything is about Lexi.
Well,
And it's just,
I loved that scene because Nadine was able to sort of tell her. like have her handle the grief and stuff, and tell her that, you know, she was happy being where she was, right? And I feel like some people need that sometimes because they're not happy when somebody dies, right? Uh, they're sad, like if their parent or their loved one passes away before they're expecting that would happen, they're, there's a lot of grief. And when if you're visited by the ghost or angel or whatever you want to call it, and it's just maybe even a hallucination, but it's something there, it feels real and everything. She comes in and she says, I'm completely fine. You don't have to worry about me. I was taken. Some people are get taken, early, to go up to the big, I think, what does she call it? A big amusement park in the sky. And I was like, oh, that's so, like, it was so cute. And it had this like cuteness to it, which I think we needed because there was a lot of the serious Chucky stuff going on, and everything. You
Unless you're
needed
buff Chucky.
buff Chucky. I fucking hated Colonel Chucky. Just yeah, it just he
It
bothered me too
just didn't.
much.
No, it didn't bother me because it's just we're not going to see him again. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank God. But
because he's not the as much as he wants to think that he's the leader, he isn't. Because remember, they kept saying Chucky Prime.
yeah,
So
and
which
that
is
was the
the
one that was inside Nico, which they
yeah.
needed to get them out. And I liked that whole bit that they had to get him. They had to get the one Chucky, the good Chucky, good bad Chucky, whatever you want to call him. They need to get him, and he was gonna go to hell, or whatever, you know. Um,
Well,
but
yeah, that's what he's told because he goes, "Am I going to go to heaven?" And I think what is it? The other somebody said, "Yeah, no, you're going to go to hell." No, I think it was Jake, right? Who said you're going to go to hell.
no, I don't think it was Jake because Jake actually liked him, so he wasn't.
But he didn't like him after he killed Nadine.
He didn't trust him after that because uh and that was the big thing is tr Jake at first didn't trust this brain. By the way, did you notice how they brainwashed him?
Well, you mean they Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, they Clockwork Oranged him, which I
Yeah,
thought
they
was a
made
cool
his eyes go.
pop up,
Yeah.
and they had to watch them all to have all this stuff, and they kind of that they called it brain bleached him.
Yeah, that's they do. That's what it's right there.
Yeah, which I thought was crazy. That was
He starts
awesome.
to. So Chucky must be more than just a doll because if he can eat, because he eats the apple, and then he pukes like there's no tomorrow, like a bucket load of puke, then he must be even the splintered Chuckies must be more than just a doll that has a soul in it. I mean, it has to have organs and everything, and puke and a stomach, and
Another thing is I hated, and you're supposed to, but I hated that Trevor guy. Like I was like I wanted him dead in one of the first episodes. Just he was such a smarmy guy. How do you keep doing that?
I don't know what I'm doing. It hasn't done this before. This is weird. There's something going on with this. I
It,
don't
it
know.
feels like the scene in Jaws where some of the stuff's going
Yeah,
back. Yeah, yeah, that thing. Um,
uh,
but anyway, so that guy is kind of like Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter. He's got the hair slicked back and he's all acting he's just he's supposed to be the nice guy at first, and then you find out he really hasn't changed. He just kind of pretends he's nice or whatever and then they kill Chucky kills him. Uh
oh, it's called auto framing. I clicked it on. I thought it was something else. See, notice how I
what
okay, there. It
is
just went
that a
back.
is that a cool looking
It's in video or it's in you click on camera where I'm sorry, video, and then you go into video settings, and then where it says video, like USB camera, you scroll down and appearance. And auto framing is new. So I guess if you
I
get
don't see.
closer, it moves. If you get, yeah, so I just clicked it off, so it should do that again.
Where did you see it? Like, I don't see it on.
On your left-hand side, it's, where it says
Oh,
video.
appearance. So
Yeah.
appearance, and then where's it? Down below or something?
Yeah, then where it says video, so you like right below your picture,
Hmm.
it's like video appearance,
Oh, I know.
virtual
I'm
background.
so I've got general settings, and it says appearance, and that's color mode, but it does not say that thing.
Well,
Oh,
it's
well.
yeah, under video. It then says video again, and then camera, USB camera, scroll down from there, and then it will say appearance, like touch up my appearance, auto adjust for low light, and then it's auto framing.
Yeah, I can't even get down below that. Wait, there's a little thing
And I
here.
would think you would have the same thing as me.
No, it. Ah, see,
Unless maybe you have to update, but
no, okay, I got it. It says touch up my appearance. Is
yeah, then
that?
right below that, it says like auto frame.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to that below that. God dang it. I'm not liking this because it won't let me. Ah,
It's
good
weird,
God.
but
It's got no, it's got so much. I can do these weird freaking video filters, avatars.
yeah, above that, it just says right auto framing new. It's the very last one under appearance.
Yeah, it does not have that.
So maybe you have to update Zoom.
Maybe. Damn, I thought I was better than you. Sorry. Guess I'm not.
Barely, buddy.
Apparently you're better than me. Damn it. Oh well, it's okay. I don't care. I don't want that thing because that's just
Oh, I
weird.
don't want it either. I turned it off. I turned it on because I thought it was something different, but
Oh man. So auto, yeah, it frames for you. That's pretty cool.
so the eighth episode, which is called Chucky Actually, I almost felt like they could have ended this in episode seven.
That's what I thought. I think it had the most epic ending. Like freaking Devon Sawa's body is, you know,
Yeah.
and everything was just like it is just like this perfect ending, and then they tack on one more episode just to, I guess, tie up loose ends, with Chucky and show that he's still alive with which I mean, um, and we didn't need that. We didn't need any of that. It's just,
I didn't mind it. It just seemed like okay, well, we have to do eight episodes, but we only have enough story for seven. So let's do
oh, they only
an
had
epi
enough episode story for six because that one, was it that other one. The one I didn't like was really a bottled episode. I think that's what they're called, where they kind of get away from the main characters and they talk about
oh yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
The most famous one is from Breaking Bad, where the fly up. Once again, my least favorite episode. I fucking hated that one. Did you watch Breaking Bad? You seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah, what's the POV of the fly
Yeah,
going around
and
the lab?
and going around the lab, and then and it's Aaron, Paul the whole time, and what's his name isn't Walter White isn't in the episode at all, you know. And that's the thing. They have these episodes where it's about a side characters and stuff, and it's just a way to like fill. And then they have stupid fucking Chucky talking the whole time, like as if he's on a TV show, like a thing. And I was just like, what is going on here? Why is this happening? And like this feels like it's trying to be some kind of like sitcom thing, and it's not funny at all. It's annoying. Though Liv Morgan is hot, but still, like it was, you could have had her in the movie somewhere, or a show somewhere. You didn't need to bring her in here and to, yeah. Anyway, I hated that episode a lot. There was a lot to hate on that.
Yeah,
Um,
I liked it. I
I know.
didn't.
I was watching it going, oh, when they did the whole, when that guy said the stuff about pronouns and everything, I go, John's gonna love this episode. He's gonna think this is so funny, and he's gonna enjoy seeing all the bound people, which I have Bound on 4K.
I
I
love Bound.
like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't love it. It's not my favorite. I can't, you
Got
know.
two chicks going at it. So
Yeah, yeah,
that
no, no, like,
that's good stuff.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would rather see these older actresses in an episode that has nothing to do with what they're talking about and knowing what they did back in the day than watching two 16-year-olds making out. So, I mean,
Well, no, I mean, I don't know. I didn't enjoy watching like 15-year-old children making out. That just seems really gross and weird to me. But it like I didn't care about that. I kind of wanted that to keep going, you know. In fact, I kind of
well,
wanted them to split up because, that creates drama, right? In everything.
yeah, because yeah, then they get back together at the end. And to make myself understood, I don't want to see this from two straight people. I don't. That's why I'm not going to watch the new season of Euphoria. It just doesn't, I just find it creepy.
Yeah.
So I understand Fast Times at Ridgemont High and stuff like that, but
But those were 30-year-olds. We've talked about this on the last
yeah.
episode. Those were like 20
Well, that's
something to
also like
30.
Euphoria is too, is that they're adults, but this isn't. But I don't,
I mean, were they? Yeah, they were. I guess they were adults. Yeah.
they would have to because they show nudity. They'd have to
Yeah.
at least be 18 or older. Like that's the one. If you want to go see Sydney Sweeney naked, go watch Euphoria. I mean, she gets naked, I think probably there's two or three girls in there that get naked a lot, and
How
she's one
many
of them.
how many times does she wear jeans?
Well, she did in that interview. She said, she goes, I wear jeans all the time. It's like my life or whatever she said. And she was wearing shorts and they weren't jean shorts. Maybe they were, but they were like white shorts. So maybe they were white jean shorts. I don't know.
Maybe.
But people have pointed out that those weren't jeans that she was wearing. But it's I don't know. I just find, yeah, like I don't know if it was it if it's like two 16-year-old girls.
Right.
I don't
I
uh,
I mean, I don't like it. But anyway, I don't want to see teenagers. Yeah, like I mean, uh, I don't mind watching teen comedies or something when most of the time, that they're young, but they're not, because like generally it's better to have as a filmmaker have people be 18 or older because you don't have to put up with all the laws and the different stuff that kids have to put up with, you know? And I think that's sort of a way that like Hollywood is trying to get away from is get away from kids being a part of this stuff because, kids cost a lot of money, because you gotta have an on-set tutor, you have to have, but if you have like a 19-year-old, person playing a, 14-year-old because they look 14 years old, you know, it's better. It's just better for financially and it's better because then you don't feel as weird and creepy when they're doing what teenagers do. And in the beginning, the first episode had Lexi with that one dude with the like the new boyfriend or something. And they're on the bed, and I was like, ah, it's like stop trying to show me.
but you know
It,
what's weird about that is so she's been with two guys that like show no interest in her. And I thought that was kind of weird. It's like, no, Lexi's pretty good looking. Like so far she has like two guys that seem to be very inaccurate.
she
It's
kind
just
of picks.
like is Dom NC trying to say something about like straight relationships or something? Like it gets all hot and heavy with the two guys, but then when a guy gets together with Lexi, it's like he doesn't want to be with her.
I don't know.
I mean,
Anywho, I just was grossed out by it. I don't know. It's not a fun scene for me to see because I just don't want to see children on bed making out with each other and stuff. I just grossed out. I don't know.
well, in this, the thing that cracks me up also with this is you have to go back to like Supergirl for a second. At least the gay relationship in that is with people who are like in their 20s or like
Right.
24, and they're supposed to be like 24. They're adults. Okay, fine. maybe that relationship could last. These are high school students. Who cares? They're all doing this drama about, oh, does Jake like me? Oh, does so and so like me?
I mean,
It's high school. Who cares? None of
Beverly
your
Hills
stuff,
90210, Dawson's
but
Creek.
that was a soap opera.
This feels like it goes into that at times. It goes into soap
Oh
opera
my God,
stuff.
Supergirl is such a soap opera. God, it just pisses me off so much
I
while
mean, a
I'm
lot,
watching it. I'm
but
trying to make it to the end, and
but
it's
see,
killing
this
me.
Chucky has some soap opera stuff in it, and I think that's because they don't want to make it just a horror show the whole time. They want you to
Well, they got to
try
make
to,
it 8 episodes, so
and they
what do
have
you
to
do? You put in your most disliked episode, and then they tack on a Christmas thing at the end.
right, which is this behind me,
Yeah,
where he goes down the chimney with the chainsaw, which
I did not buy that chainsaw at all. Like I noticed he sees the ad, and then when it comes, it just looks plastic. It doesn't look like a real chainsaw, and I'm like, is that a toy? Did he order a toy? Because
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
look real. It doesn't look like metal.
But then, was it at first he kills the mom, chops
Right
her
in
like
half.
right in half, which is pretty cool.
Terrified.
Yeah. Here here's the thing with that. Which one came first? Terrifier or I think Terrifier did, right? The first Terrifier came first before Chucky season two.
It's possible because I think I saw Terrifier later. I mean,
Let
it's
me
easy enough to
see.
find out. You're looking it up
I'm
right
looking
now.
up right now. 2016 was that one. Was the first one. It's really funny because Terrifier 3 just came out last year, and that had a Christmas theme with him coming through the chimney and killing everybody, all the stuff in the house. And I thought, did they kind of watch Chucky and say, like, are they bouncing off ideas off each other? Like,
Well, the chimney stuff always bothers me because it's almost like writers just think it's a giant hole. No, it's not. You have a trap. So you close it so then rain and snow and crap doesn't fall through into the house. You open the trap when you set a fire, so then all the smoke goes out through the trap.
mm,
So that means that every single time somebody goes down, I guess except for Santa, every time somebody goes down a chimney, that trap is open. And it's wide enough to fit a person through there.
you're right.
Chucky's a doll, but still is he just seems to just drop right through. So I guess the trap was open.
Maybe they were open that day. Maybe they had used the fire and then just forgot to put the. Well, I mean, which we're just speculating because we don't know the, thing, but like it doesn't really matter because like the only reason he did it was they all did that is because they wanted to send a doll down the chimney, like Santa. Like that's it. And Santa is, yes, Santa's magical and stuff. Like he has
He
reindeer
is.
that flies. So like he's not a real being that can do these things. He's a being
What?
that, sorry to break that to you, but he's I want to do, and I don't know if I'll do it, start filming it next year or something, but I want to do a, Christmas like thing, for, my Echo Lake universe. I've been dying to do a Christmas themed, short or something, and everything. Not like Axmas. I'm not gonna steal Axmas's idea. Sorry. I'm not gonna,
Better not.
I won't do that. I won't, but I want to do like a Christmas themed one because I've never done a Christmas themed anything, and so that would be fun. I like Christmas and I like, I like specials about Christmas, especially TV shows when they do like episodes, like Big Bang Theory's Christmas episode or something, Um, but yeah, so this kind of sparked an interest in like, oh man, I want to do something like that, like where Lucas and Olivia have to help Santa Claus, because the vampire's been attacking, or something. Just silly shit like that, something like that.
That's not realistic. Is one of them going to go through a chimney?
No, no, I don't think there's no chimney involved. I don't
Oh,
think.
okay. Well, then
Maybe
maybe
a
not.
vampire could go down the chimney, but I'd have to make sure that they mention that the hatch is open.
Well, but can't they disappear though and like reappear, vampires?
No, they're not
Don't
that
think.
magical.
I guess it depends on
On the
who's
lore
writing.
of the yeah, the lore of
Yeah.
the vampire. I don't do
So
that. I have it where they're just creatures who, they could make it they could turn themselves into a bat because Dracula could do that. And then they could go down the chimney as a bat, but then they'd still get stuck, you
yeah,
know.
doink 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 doink,
Yeah,
just hit
so
it.
unless the
Doink doink
hatch is
doink doink
open,
doink.
and then so you'd have to make mention like, didn't you close the hatch? Oops, sorry, I forgot. You know, simple little thing there.
Well, then maybe this is Don Mancini's way of, okay, we're gonna have Chucky at Halloween, we're gonna have Chucky at Christmas, so now we could get this stuff out of the way. So now people won't say, well, I think you should make a movie with Chucky at Halloween, or I think you should make a movie with Chucky at, Christmas.
Haven't done Thanksgiving.
So, oh, they should, because then Chucky could make a person, like in the middle of the table,
Yeah, you could carve the head of the carve somebody's head off and make it a part of a turkey. I don't know, but no. Interesting thing about that is it did end like in November. That episode was like November 23rd or something like that. And I'm like thinking, why didn't they make it December? That they like I don't like why didn't they start like later? Why didn't they start on Halloween for not for the first episode and then go like that? I guess it depends on when sci-fi is going to air them, but like that's what I would have pitched it as. Like, let's release it like close to Halloween, and then you get eight more or seven more episodes, and that will fill up to all the way to Christmas, you know? So airing just didn't feel right here. It ended in no late November, It should have been December.
I know they split the third season in half,
Third
which was
season
really
was in half,
annoying.
but they did that because of the writer's strike and the actor strike and stuff, which, which by the way, the writers stuff is coming back up next year. So that might have another strike coming. But the
They don't
actors,
deserve shit. They're just writing garbage. You don't deserve anything, buddy. Start
well,
making some good movies and TV shows and then talk about getting paid
I, I
royalty.
I looked it up. It's more about the AI stuff that they're worried about. And they're more worried that um that people are just gonna rewrite their scripts using AI, you know, and whatnot like that. And so there's got to be like provisions and different things with that.
So
Uh,
write a good script and then they won't do that.
well, studios don't know what a good script is,
They've made them.
they
They've
used
it's
to.
just recently it's been like the last, well, 20, 30 years or something, but still there was a long time when they made really good movies. 60s, 70s. I'd probably say maybe the 90s is when it
And most of
started to
those
go.
were original movies and weren't based on some other IP. And I can't talk trash because we're watching Chucky, which is it was an original IP, right? Like an IP that existed for a while, but like, and for those people who may not know what I'm talking about, is intellectual properties, you know. And but when I'm it's like a lot of times they won't accept original material because they're afraid. They're afraid if you do another movie that's that's like a taxi driver or like a Mean Streets or like a uh blowout or well, actually blowout's a remake of Blow Up. So,
Yeah.
but something like that. Like,
Well, they do. I mean, Martyrs was pretty, was a fresh idea. Now they're doing a prequel to that, so it won't be for
now
too
it's an
long.
IP, but now it's
But
an IP, but like Sinners. Did you watch Sinners?
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it a lot too. It's funny because I rewatched my review that I did with Paul on it, and Paul's reaction was like, uh, I liked it, but I could have done without the vampire stuff. Wait, what?
Eh,
That was the whole movie.
it's a
He's like,
vampire movie.
yeah, well, I think what he was talking about is like he liked all the old style stuff that
He
was
just
like
wanted to see
everything
them make a dance place. That's
a
and the ending of
bar.
it is them dancing.
I or the drama between them back then
It's
because they
from dusk till dawn.
yeah, it is.
That's the first half is a drama and the second half is a vampire movie.
Yep. And they're both and they're all criminals. The two guys are criminals, and they're brothers. I mean, it really is literally a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn. They're brothers, they're criminals, and they go to a bar, and the vampires show up. It is a little bit of a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn, but that's the thing that it was an original version of that. Like they had all those speakeasies and different things of that time period. And I actually really did like all that stuff too. But I love the vampire stuff because the vampire stuff was cool, you know.
But look what they had to do to get that movie made. The director had to do Black Panther and Creed, and then our Michael B. Jordan had to do Creed and some other stuff. And then once you get to that certain point where you're just like, look, I've made you guys a lot of money. I want to make Sinners. And then they're like, okay. And it paid off.
And paid out because it
So
did so well for Warner Brothers that they talk about that. Like Warner Brothers themselves knows Sinners was a financial success for them, and they want to keep doing that. The problem is movies like P.T. Anderson's new movie, One Battle After Another bombed. And
garbage. Because nobody wants to see a woke and pro Antifa movie.
um yeah, so it bombed and now they're like, "Oh crap. Original movies can bomb. We've got to be careful."
Well, it's not. God, we are so off topic. It's nobody wants to be lectured. That's the main problem. They don't want to be lectured. So in the trailer, when Leonardo DiCaprio's character, when he's talking to his daughter, and he goes, "Oh, they, them," and she goes, "Dad," he goes, "I just want to be able to say the right thing." That turned off. I'm gonna think so many people is that they don't want to be lectured. Just give us a good movie. You don't need to lecture everybody. You don't need to go to the theater and be lectured that you're an asshole because you're not woke. And these movies bomb because of that. People even criticized Sinners. They're like, "Oh, well, the vampire is white and he's attacking black people." No, no, this is the case of the film's not woke. He's a white vampire. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It
He was
has
just
nothing to
turned
do.
into a vampire like, yeah.
Yeah, nobody is lecturing anybody in Sinners. No one. I mean, I would prefer to have something very historically correct than have it fake. And it's like watching it. Welcome to Derry is I was very iffy on watching that show because it's like, is this going to be historically correct? And the way that black people were treated, I thought it was the 50s. It's not, it's 1962. So it's like, okay, all right, okay, well, that's a little better. But it's like, are they being historically correct? Well, yeah, the white police force is blaming a black guy for killing a bunch of kids in a movie theater. That shit happened. Even though they knew it wasn't the black guy, they got to get somebody.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is it's people just don't want to be lectured. They don't want to they don't want to like on the Acolyte where all of a sudden they start using the they them stuff. It's a bad show to begin with, but it's like nobody cares.
And on top of that, it's Star Wars. None of that just existed in the Star Wars thing, and now they're trying to bring that in there, which they tried. It did not work. It failed,
No.
and
Just
then
give people good movies. That's
all of a sudden it's our fault because we talk about these movies or whatever. So YouTubers fault that it didn't do well. Well, of course, it's YouTubers. The thing is, YouTubers are the fans. You know, these are the ones that are talking about this stuff. It's the fans that don't want to see these shows anymore like that. They want to see something good and interesting and not a message. You know, even Paul, who is very liberal, does not want to see a message. You know, he's like he wants to be entertained by a movie. He wants characters that, you know, and he wants things to make sense. You know, he wants a good script, you know, and stuff. And a lot of times, a lot of movies these days, they don't pay attention. They just make a script in, you know, a week and then they put it out and, you know, they start shooting it.
Well, and that's why I think it's an Apple show, the one that got pulled right after Charlie Kirk got shot. Because it was and who is it? It's I forget the woman who's in it, but it's a show of like soccer mom by day, and then she at night would find white supremacy groups, and then they would go take them down. And some people had seen it. The Apple pulled it immediately. It still hasn't come out yet, and it was basically just white man bad. And I think it's Jessica Chastain is the mom in it who does this.
Is it pulled
And
to where like it wouldn't be on IMDb anymore?
it probably is. But it's in it was supposed to come out like 1 or 2 days after Charlie Kirk was killed. And they pulled it. And a lot of people are like, "Wait, why are you pulling it?" But it's just like the whole show from what people saw, because some of them saw like the pilot and stuff. It's all white man bad. And nobody wants to watch this crap.
Ah, it's called The Savant.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, yeah, so it's interesting. It says Apple TV Plus, right? And if you look at Jessica's IMDb page, it has a bunch of movies that are in like pre-production, post-production, that kind of stuff, right? At the bottom, it says completed, right? But it's still in the upcoming, you know, category. So it's probably not coming out at all. They're probably not gonna, unless they realize they can release it at some point, you know.
Well, in all this stuff with like watching the Arrowverse, I know I'm doing this. I'm killing myself on purpose, I guess. I don't know. The show is very woke. It's very to the left. Supergirl is very much a girl boss feminist show. I get that. Okay. So you just kind of have to deal with Supergirl being stronger and faster than Superman. No. No, she's not. It's just no, no. Nobody is stronger than Superman. It's that simple. But they do it, and every once in a while they'll throw in, well, you know, he's a white dude. Oh, well, what do you expect from the rich white guy? It's like, why can't you just say rich guy? Why does it have to be rich white guy? Like, all you're making me do is not want to watch your show. And there's a reason why they got canceled, is because, and I watched the whole video on this, is because the shows went so in the left direction that and everything was a lecture. Like Arrow always got lectured. Flash's wife then became the center of the show. That they got that they all got canceled because the ratings dropped massively because the audience was being lectured. Nobody wants to see that. We just want to see the Flash kick somebody's butt or the Arrow catch a bad guy.
Yeah, I guess I had stopped watching it before that happened because I don't remember any of that. I remember you know, I remember Kevin Smith coming and directing a couple of those things. That
I
was kind of fun.
just watched an episode that has his daughter in it and he directed it. Yeah.
Yeah. He talked about that. He didn't really direct, by the way. Like because the thing with directors, they don't need directors because pretty much they do the same thing in every episode. They have camera crews that know where to go and put the, you know what I mean? Like they don't need directors, they just have to have them. So he would go out and just buy the crew of hamburgers and they wouldn't even miss him. He'd come back and like bring everybody food and not be directing a single solitary frame. or whatever. And I mean, it was weird to me to hear him kind of talk about that because I'm like, shouldn't you be like, wouldn't you be more excited if you directed the episodes? Like if you were able to like say, all right, can you frame it right here? Because he doesn't need to say that,
Well, it's
you know,
TV.
it's TV. They're
It's
gonna,
on autopilot. I mean,
yeah.
they know exactly by most of the people, especially with Arrowverse, work on the other shows. It's like kind of all the same producers and stuff like that. So they know the people to hire. They already have everything in place, and pretty much every show is the same thing. It's a rich guy who gets special powers. I mean, basically they're all Batman.
Mhm.
Everybody's Batman or they're Superman,
I am
like the
Batman.
Flash or whatever. I am Batman. And like I was I decided to watch Gotham Knights, Knights with a K,
No, I
because
know
I heard it
that.
was so bad. And in the very first episode, I'm like, okay, I don't, all right, fine. It's the Joker's dead. It's the Joker's daughter. All right, fine. They kill Bruce Wayne. They like chuck him out a window. This is how much DC and Warner Brothers hates Batman. They threw him out a window and just killed him. And
Right.
then when they arrest all these kids that are like the daughters and sons of these like supervillains, the one guy that's being interrogated, it's two cops, and one's like the good cop, one's the bad cop. And the bad cops goes, "So, Bobby," and the good cop goes, "Hey, don't use his dead name." I went,
Oh,
"I'm out. I'm out.
all
Really?
right.
You're interrogating a guy or a person who is involved in the murder of Bruce Wayne, and you're worried about his dead name. Like, are you fucking saying this guy's technically a murderer? They
Yeah.
didn't do it, they were framed. But it's just like at that point, they're murderers. And you're still worried about that shit. And I'm like, I'm gone. I'm out. So it's like there's a
It
reason why I was
wasn't, it's
skeptical.
not your cup of tea. And,
It could have
um,
been because it sounded, I heard bad stuff, but then I kind of like the idea of what if the kids of these people had to solve Bruce Wayne's murder? And so it's the daughter of the Joker who acts more like Harley Quinn, but okay. And it's Bruce Wayne's adopted son. And I kind
who
of,
did the Joker have sex with? Was it Harley Quinn?
I think it was Harley.
So that
Yeah.
was so she was the daughter of both Joker and the Harley Quinn.
Well, I guess you find out later on that she's somebody else's daughter or something. By the end of season one, there's other things that pop up, but it's I don't know. Some of these things I really enjoy, and some of them I can't, which is why I'm very surprised to get back to Chucky, um, that I like Chucky so much with how kind of woke it is and stuff. I mean, it's probably something I shouldn't like, but I do. I just don't like the kid part. Um,
All
but
right.
overall, I like it.
So before we get into all the fun stuff of the kills, scenes, and things like that, did you catch the Devon Sawa movie reference?
Yes.
What was it?
They say that he looks just like the guy from.
No, that's not
No,
what
no,
I'm
no, no,
talking
no,
about.
no. Jake says he looks like my dad. Is
So
that the one you're referring
no.
to?
So at one point, Devon Sawa is talking about you're evil, like you're on the path to evil kind of thing like that. And then he says, idle hands are the devil's playthings. I fucking lost my shit. I was like, yes, because like I love when movies and television do that, where they kind of make a reference to a show. I noticed that one of the titles for next season is called Final Destination. So I'm like, okay, that nice, but it is nice to hear them do these things because I get excited, when I hear it, because I'm like, I know when Devin read that, he was like, oh God, I gotta mention one of my movies, basically, one of my most popular films that I was a part of. I mean, it would be even funnier if at one point he was like, well, it's not Casper the Friendly Ghost, talking about Chucky, because he
Right.
Casper, something like that. I don't know. It's just neat to hear these things, and I feel like when people do that, kind of poke fun at their own work or at least reference their own work, they're it's very tongue in cheek and very wink wink, and I like that. That's my
Well,
kind of
sometimes that's fun. Like the original like Broadway show or live show of Arsenic and Old Lace. We're talking way back in the day. Boris Karloff played the butler, and he's like a scary butler. And one of the two old women go, "Oh, he looks just like Boris Karloff." So there's a direct reference to him being Boris Karloff because he's Boris Karloff, but playing a different character.
was it Boris Karloff or was it somebody else who played it in the movie?
In the movie, it's somebody different.
And they say he looks like Boris Karloff because he got his face to look like Boris Karloff or something, That was the whole thing in the movie, if I recall correctly. They had a face
Yeah, it doesn't work as
transplant to make
well.
it. But it would have been funnier if it were Boris Karloff. Because that just I don't know, that would have been funny, but I think it was Raymond Massey, if I'm right. It's the character. I don't know. Anyway, it was a fun. I liked that movie a lot more than I expected because my mom had said she didn't like it. I was like, oh no, because I usually like what she likes of those old movies, you know? So I watched it anyway, and I was like laughing my ass off. And I was like, so I talked to my mom later. I'm like, why did you say you didn't like it? And she was like, oh, I just watched it too much, and just didn't like it after. Sometimes you watch something and you watch it over and over again, and then eventually you're just like, oh, I'm sick of this, kind of thing. But I really, really liked Arsenic and Old Lace.
I remember liking it. I've only seen it once, but yeah, I remember liking it. And I
All right.
watched it because Boris Karloff was, well, no, I watched it because it was Boris Karloff affiliated. So, but yeah, so if we want to get to what we have over here. So, this is from like list of deaths. So they go through all three seasons of Chucky. I think this might be a different one from what I used last time. So, season two starts with Halloween 2. You have the Tiffany Valentine doll. Head gets shot off by Andy. Then you have 68 Chucky dolls, either blown up or fell to their deaths when Andy drove the good guy truck off of a cliff. 72 mentioned in the previous episode, minus 4 that survived. Bodies shown in Doll on Doll episode. Gary blown up by Chucky with a fertilizer bomb. Oh yeah, that's the kid.
Yeah,
Chucky
okay.
number 6, because they now have numbers, blew himself up detonating a fertilizer bomb to kill Gary. So total number of deaths in that episode is 71.
Nice. That
Next
sounds like a
episode,
way bigger than, like what seems to be, the case or whatever. Because you don't really see all those Chuckies die, but yes, they all got blown up.
yeah. Sinners are much more fun. That's the next episode. Sister Elizabeth suffered from a heart attack after being scared by Chucky.
Wanna
Uh,
pray?
Mana Pray. Thank you.
Wow, you have a heart attack because of me?
Me?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Didn't even have to do anything.
uh,
Detective Sam Gavin, throat slit by Tiffany with knife.
that character was so annoying. I was like, please kill him. I didn't like him. Like it was like
Oh, that
he,
guy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Comes to
he
our house.
comes to her house. She was like, how did you get beyond the gate? And he's like, oh, I climbed the fence. I'm like, what kind of fucking detective does that? Like, that's not appropriate. Like, you
Kind of
should.
an obsessed one.
Well, right, because he was like, "Oh, I get to talk to Jennifer Tilly." It's not even Jennifer Tilly.
Well, did you notice that they referenced in the episode that you don't like that they brought up Seed of Chucky?
Well, they brought up the movie that she was in
Well,
of
they
Chucky.
because they say ever since you made that movie, you have not been the same because that's when. they did the switch.
Right. And it was talking about that movie, which was, I guess, like I forgot what it was called, something of Chucky or whatever.
Chucky Goes Psycho.
Chucky Goes Psycho, which I think is, I mean, it's funny because it's a terrible title. And the title that they would never have actually put for Chucky, But it was bad. And then of course that means that that's not Jennifer Tilly in that body, that's Tiffany Valentine. And Tiffany Valentine looks surprisingly like Jennifer Tilly, which drives me nuts because she keeps talking about how Jennifer Tilly's so pretty. I'm like, you were Jennifer Tilly. Like, you were literally played by her
But I think that's the joke is that it's Jennifer Tilly saying that she herself is beautiful, like as an actress
and
in real
watching
life. It's
and
just,
watching a million times the liar liar scenes and everything like that. Being obsessed with that movie, which my
well, it's universal.
My best friend Jackie, that's her favorite movie of all time. So I had to send her like a picture from it, I was like, Jennifer Tilly's doing this in Chucky. And she laughed at that because she loves that. But me personally, like what it's so funny. A lot of people, a lot of actors always say they don't watch their own work because they're like, you know, uh, they just don't want, they're embarrassed by it, or whatever. They're embarrassed to watch what they did. But she's there laughing the whole time and thinking she's so great. But it's
Well,
not
yeah,
her. It's not
but I
her.
think that's the whole joke.
Right.
And also, I mean, I don't know how many movies Jennifer Tilly made for Universal, but maybe that's the only one that they could show. Plus, it is called Liar Liar, and she is lying.
Guess-
So, I mean, maybe that has something to do with it. But
There's that line in 40 something 40-year-old virgin where Seth Rogen looks over and says, I watched this movie called Liar Liar, and do you know what the theme of that movie was? Don't lie. Right? That's it's good. That's whatever. I just think that's hilarious.
that would pretty much be it. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All right.
Um, okay, so we got two in that one. The next one is Hail Mary,
Mm-hmm.
and Nadine's mother died of unspecific causes off screen several years prior mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could add that. Father
I
O'Malley strangled. Go on.
I don't think so. I don't think that's a death. Like, it's a mention of a death, but it's not an actual death that happened in the show. You
Yeah, I
know.
think it has to be by one of the main people.
Yeah.
Father O'Malley strangled by Chucky with a rosary chain, which is always nice.
Hmm.
And then Trevor, your favorite guy, heart ripped out by Chucky. So you gotta
That
like
part was
that.
that part was great.
And that was by Buff Chucky, ripped Chucky.
Yeah, basically, I was expecting him to be like a villain throughout the show, but the fact that he died in like the third episode was awesome. And they called it Hail Mary because they made her do 400 Hail Marys, after she said that. Chucky was like, do 400 Hail Marys, and she's like, really? That seems kind of excessive, but you know more than I do. Okay.
Yeah.
And she does it, on her way back to the dorm room. Oh,
Yeah. We just see her doing it as she's walking up the stairs and everything, which is
but
funny.
yeah.
So they say total of three. Then death on denial. So Jeeves Sal Marco, poisoned by Glinda with a wine filled with strychnine, off-screen body shown. Uh, Mouse, neck snapped by a mouse trap set up by Tiffany. Mouse.
I
Does she
there,
cap Does she get an actual mouse?
I guess there was a mouse on the ground. I don't even remember that and stuff. So thank God I don't want to see a dead mouse on a mousetrap. Like the fuck?
Okay, all right. Then Joey Pants, shot to death by Gina, shown in flashback. Fictional portrayal. Oh, I guess they have to say fictional portrayal because it's two real people, and
Yeah,
that
and
Gina
he and he
Gershon. didn't actually shoot him.
That
So
would be
that's
that would be
weird.
some shit, if all of a sudden you read in the paper that Gina Gershon killed Joey Pants in a real movie, that's method acting.
Well, I had to do, I'm going to sneeze in a second. I had to do like script supervisor for a friend. And here it goes. Pardon me. Probably another one's coming. And I had to put with in the script, um, person shot with rubber gun, person stabbed with rubber knife,
Hmm.
person, because you want to make sure that they were shot, but not by a real gun. So
Right.
just weird, stupid shit like that. And then there's uh, Liv Morgan stabbed to death by Chucky. Post show. Oh, Liv Morgan, the wrestler.
The wrestler chick, she was hot. I liked her,
Yeah,
but and then
I wonder, do you know if that's real footage of her saying that she wants to be killed by Chucky? Because it looked different. She looked different, the footage looked different. So like maybe one time when she was being interviewed as a wrestler, like for whatever show she was on, the guy's like, "Well, what do you want?" And she's like, "I want to be killed by Chucky." And somebody saw that or told Dom Mancini, so then they had her on to get killed by Chucky.
um, I'm looking up right now. I don't see anything. It's all just the show. So maybe not. But um, yeah, I don't know. I, I
Okay.
I have no idea, but it did look different. But they could have done it to look different on purpose to make it,
Yeah.
to make it
I
look
kind of think
real.
maybe it was as a joke. She's just like, "Oh yeah, I want to be killed by Chucky one day," and then Dom Mancini said, "Hey, you want to be killed by Chucky?" She's like, "Shit, yeah." So
Sure,
that's how
yeah.
I
So,
like to,
oh yeah,
that's
and
how I would like to see it.
so this is the thing, and I think you've been on the episodes with me enough where you've seen this. Where with Paul, Paul's always like, I don't want to see pretty girls get killed. And I'm like, why not? Right? Like, I would rather see them get killed than dudes getting killed. Like, I'd rather, because, at least I'm watching something pretty, on something violent, And the second thing I always bring up when he says that is these women want to be killed. It's not like it's not like, oh, I don't want to die. Oh no, I can't believe you're going to put me in this movie. And like a lot of women and sometimes a lot of men like to have death scenes in movies. They like to be killed because it's just fun. You get bloodied up, and then later they can watch it and they can see their own death. There's something weird about it where, you actually get to see yourself die as opposed to in real life. You never get to see yourself die unless you're looking in a mirror while it's happening. You know, it's kind of odd, but you see what I'm saying? Like nobody really gets to see somebody come up there and be able to see that, that
Well, it's like anything. You want to see somebody good looking up there, male or female. You want to see somebody good looking. That's why all of these commercials fail. That's why Victoria's Secret failed. When you have a 400-pound person. Nobody wants to see Chucky kill a 400-pound person unless there's like a joke with it. But when you see a hot wrestler get killed, yeah, that's what you want to see, And as I'm sure Chucky was very happy to kill her, it's because she's hot. So,
Well,
yeah,
you liked all that. Oh, she put him on in her lap and cuddled with him, and he was just like he was loving it. He was like, I get to be, but it's a doll. It's not real. It's not like it's a person, but it's the doll. Like after a while, the doll almost becomes like a human, in a way or whatever. Anyway, whatever. Continue on.
yeah. Okay, so total of four. Um, Doll on doll, four gerbils, okay, die of unspecified causes off screen several years prior
Hmm.
mentioned.
What was
Who
that?
maybe it was in a flashback with
No, they say mentioned. So somebody mentioned that four gerbils died.
Four of them, yeah.
I don't remember that, but all right. Anyway, continue.
Then it says Houdini. Oh, no, no, no. That was the friend with the glasses who gets thrown out the window.
Oh,
She mentions that she had four gerbils and that they died. She talked about like her mom, because it also says here Houdini gerbil accidentally smothered to death by Nadine's mother after she died off screen. Mentioned.
oh, yeah.
So maybe her mom killed the gerbils.
By
Um,
accident. I don't know.
yeah. And then Margaret Elizabeth Chan, Meg Tilly, stabbed to death by Tiffany with a straight razor, fictionally portrayed. Because Tiffany, is a real person.
What did it say? Margaret, what?
That's what it says. Margaret Elizabeth Chan slash Meg Tilly.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is that her real name?
Gonna let's do a Google. Yeah, that's her real name. Meg Tilly, born Margaret Elizabeth Chan,
Is she Asian?
is an American Canadian actress and writer.
So Meg Tilly. Um,
That's
oh,
weird that they put her like her original name. Nobody knows her original name.
no. But if you do look up Meg Tilly on Wikipedia, it pops up saying born Margaret Elizabeth Chan. What is Jennifer Tilly born then?
All right, so click on her name. Jennifer Elaine Chan.
So they
That's
both just changed it to Tilly?
yeah.
That's weird. All the siblings are Tilly. Like, did you know she has other siblings? She's got a Rebecca Tilly and there's a Steve Tilly. That's crazy. I didn't even know there were that many Terrys. But her parents are Harry Chan and Patricia Tilly. So they just use their mother's maiden name. Maybe their father, maybe their father left them or something.
Maybe yeah, maybe it's kind of like a Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez type of thing.
Let
Like
me
the
s-
mom's name is Estevez, but Charlie took Sheen, Martin Sheen's name.
Okay, so listen to this. So Tilly was this is Jennifer Tilly was born Jennifer Ellen Chan on September 16th, 1958. She was one of four children born to Harry Chan, a used car salesman of Chinese descent. So she is Asian. And Patricia, a Canadian school teacher and former stage actress of Finnish, Irish, and Native American ancestry. She has an older brother, Steve, and two younger sisters, actress and writer Meg and Rebecca, an artist. Following her parents' divorce when she was 5 years old, Tilly was raised by her mother and stepfather, John Ward.
Really? She was raised by
Yes.
me? Is it even spelled John?
Yes, John
That is
Ward.
hilarious.
That that is fucking that is awesome. On rural Texada Island in British Columbia. According to her sister Meg, Ward was a sadist. Oh, you don't want to hear this.
Uh-oh. Okay, then it isn't me. I didn't raise him.
No,
I-
you did not. But I will tell you this. Apparently, Ward was a sadistic pedophile.
oh my God.
Not you. Not you, thank God. You're not old enough to have raised. You're basically their age. Um, though I guess you could have been the stepfather, but like in not you, but like, like somebody your age could have been that. Anyway, although sister Rebecca agreed, Jennifer did not comment on this issue. Her mother divorced again when Tilly was 16. The family then moved to Langford, where Tilly attended some kind of school, whatever. During her high school years, she developed an interest in theater, which prompted her to actively participate in plays. Let me see where she took the name Tilly. She always called herself Tilly, I guess. I guess because once the other father, Chan, was divorced and she was staying with the mother, she would just take the mother's maiden name or whatever, like the mother's name. And then, because if the mother wants to not be Chan anymore, she'll be Tilly. She'll go back to Tilly. So, but that's crazy. That was not expected. The John Ward and stuff. I was reading, I got excited because like there was some cool information about Jennifer Tilly that I was not aware of. I've never done enough research on her because
Never thought of doing it.
yeah, but if you had, you would have saw your name. You'd be like, ah,
Wait a minute. Oh, maybe he's a brain surgeon. Oh
no,
no.
he's a sadistic pedophile. Is what
Damn it.
which I'm wondering if that meant that like Meg thought that maybe her and some of the other kids were sort of traumatized, in some way. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know, and I can't put that out there. I don't know any of that. So
Don't know.
all I know is what I read there that was in Wikipedia. If it were not true, I would imagine that that would have been changed at some point. Somebody would have came in there and edited that out. So obviously Meg Tilly actually said this and stuff would be my guess. And that kind of sucks, but um it goes to show you that a lot of children have to deal with sadistic
Well,
people.
if her voice is her voice, which I believe it is, they say that if somebody is SA'd at a early age, they stick to that age. Like their voice will stay that age. Like it will be a little girl. So it's possible.
No idea. But anyway,
Yeah.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
That's some interesting stuff.
Okay. So now so with Meg Taylor being stabbed, okay, so that gives us six there. He is risen indeed. A fly gets impaled against the wall with a pin thrown by it just says Chucky, but it's Buff Chucky.
Buff
Um,
Chucky.
well, no, here it says thrown by Chucky. Then right below it, it says Chucky number seven, Buff, poisoned by the Colonel, by Colonel Chucky,
Hmm.
with arsenic laced communion wafers.
Okay.
I thought it was, I don't know. I thought it was Buff Chucky who did that, but okay. Chucky number eight, the Colonel, stabbed in the back of the head by Andy with a pair of scissors.
And then he
Then we
does the
get,
whole Apocalypse Now monologue.
yeah, the horror,
Oh,
the
no.
horror. And then Nadine thrown out of a bell tower by Chucky, not good Chucky, but Chucky, and lands on a statue. Total of deaths four.
Hmm. Pretty significant deaths though, but yeah.
I would still say that's good Chucky, or at least put good slash bad Chucky. Um, yeah, here they do it again. Jennifer Elaine Chan slash Jennifer Tilly. This was pretty brutal. Accidentally run over by an unknown person driving a semi truck, fictionally portrayed. Okay, this is now getting stupid because it was her in the Tiffany doll
Hmm.
who gets killed in the truck, gets hit by the truck. Why does this have to say fictionally portrayed? We know that Jennifer Tilly is not in a Tiffany doll, and we
Mm.
know that she wasn't hit by a semi truck.
Right.
This is so dumb. Okay, but okay, maybe I don't know, maybe they had to do it for some reason. Chucky number nine, Scout, who I think is good Chucky.
Right. He
Um,
was the
ex
scout, right?
yeah. Exploded after possessing Father Bryce.
Yep.
Then Father
Oh man,
Bryce.
because that was cool because they had the whole him floating in the air and everything, then he comes back down and then but then he like is out of the doll and then he's into the next possession, which is he's into Father Bryce, but then he kills himself. So it makes me wonder why didn't that soul just go somewhere else after it exploded? I guess did it go right to hell right after it exploded?
Well, maybe the souls don't go into other dolls. Maybe that soul is gone. Like each Chucky has its own soul, and when that Chucky is killed, the soul just disappears.
But it went into Father Bryce. Remember,
Because they
he
were
was
doing
Chucky
the
for a little bit.
but they were doing the exorcism.
Right. But then after Bryce exploded, shouldn't that's the soul, the spirit or whatever go into something else? Or does it just because it exploded, it goes to hell?
I think because it exploded.
Okay. All
It could
right.
have jumped from Father Bryce to somebody else as
Yeah,
long as
I
he was
mean,
still
yeah.
unexploded. Um, so then Sister Ruth stabbed in the eye with a knife thrown by Glinda.
That was
That's
pretty
another
cool.
thing that confused me a little bit. Glenn has the long hair. Glinda has the short hair. You would think it would be switched.
I thought so too, but
I
um
think that's on
and
purpose.
that kind of annoyed me that uh Chucky hasn't seen Glenn or Glinda in a while, and yet he knew exactly who which one was, which, he's like, Glenn, great to see her. Glinda, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. I'm your dad, Chucky, as Nika, and everything. And my first thought was, how can you tell? Like, you haven't seen your kids in like forever. Like, are you just saying which one is your kid, even though they're both played by the same person? So, they're both played by the same actress. So like it's just very confusing. I don't know.
Well, in one is more, I think it's Glenn who has the long hair is more manly. And then Glinda who has the short hair is more feminine.
Is she? Because she seemed
Yeah.
pretty manly when she threw that knife.
Well, I mean, I guess they're both tough chicks, but one definitely has more of the hot topic look with the baggy pants and the chains and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. So that's how I saw it at least. And then okay, so Ruth, okay, Dr. Amanda Mixter, after Chucky switched bodies with her, was shot to death by Andy, thinking she was Chucky. I don't think there was enough time to do this, but they did it. Um, she later died after Chucky transferred his soul into a new good guy doll. Total of 5 deaths.
Yep.
So, okay. And then,
The last episode.
yeah, Chucky actually, unnamed male police officer, electrocuted by Glinda with defibrillator, which by the way, that's not how that works, but okay. Defibrillator paddles, they made it look better in Scream 4. Uh, bursting his head into flames. Shared kill. Shared kill. Who was
Uh
there?
Jennifer Tilly was there.
I don't really know if that would be okay, I guess, because it was Glinda who really did it. Okay.
Well, no, because
Then,
remember, Jennifer Tilly gave her the defibrillator. So I guess that was, said, here you
oh,
go,
okay. All right.
honey.
Well,
So I
then
think
that
those are
makes sense.
shared.
Okay.
Whatever. It works.
Um, Glenn Valentine Ray, human, uh, succumbed to her bullet wound after being accidentally shot by Nika.
Hmm.
What? Wait. And as well, after her soul is transferred into the GG doll by Tiffany and Glinda shared kill. Ray,
That's a
I
weird to say that, but
I didn't know that that was the full name.
what?
Glenn Valentine Ray.
Right.
We just always know it's just Glenn or Glinda.
Right. Glenn Valentine Ray is Glenn with Tiffany Valentine and with Charles Lee Ray's name together.
Yeah.
So it's just like they have the full name of both last names.
But it's I never even knew that they had that. Because then it's down here it says Glinda Valentine Ray,
Yep.
human. And you better ask them that. Don't assume that they consider themselves human. Um, Died when Tiffany transferred her, come on, it's her soul into the GG doll.
Yep. It's the same thing. It's the same. So they
Yeah.
both got to transfer their souls to the one doll.
Yeah, that's voiced by the guy from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they could only afford him for one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, okay, Michelle Cross sliced, oh, that's the mom, sliced vertically in half by Chucky with a miniature chainsaw. And then Chucky number 10, who's Prime Chucky, head sliced into pieces by Lexi with his miniature chainsaw, resurrected by Tiffany in another good guy doll. Total of 5 kills. Once again, saying there's always another Chucky doll.
Pretty much.
So
There's
there you go.
pretty much another Chucky doll. There's another way Chucky can come back. I mean, because at the end, I forgot who helped. I guess it was Caroline helped Chucky to become, to go there because she like dressed the one doll up to look like, or Chucky to look like the one doll or whatever, and then you turned out, oh, that was fake. That was really Chucky, you know,
Yeah,
which
and Caroline has calmed down.
she has. I mean, I kind of tolerated her this episode, this season. She was
I
only
thought she was,
2 episodes, I think.
but maybe, I mean, maybe they got some criticism of her, even though she's autistic or whatever. That's her screaming and whining was obnoxious as hell, and she should probably be put in a home, but or completely doped up on drugs. And in this one, she's fine. She's more sinister in this than fine because she does smile at the end. So
Yeah, she's more sinister. She's more effed up. Ugh.
that's what happens when you hang out with Chucky.
Yep. All right, so I gotta come down to our rating, you know. Um, okay, there are ranking of this. All right, I think I know what I'm gonna do. Um, do you have your ranking? Do you have that figured out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go with your ranking first because I did mine first the last time. So what would you say your top nine so far?
So I would probably say Cult of Chucky. Then,
Wait, that's your favorite?
yeah, I really like Cult of Chucky.
Cult of Chucky is your favorite of all the Chucky stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Then Chucky season two, then Chucky, then Child's Play 2, then probably Bride of Chucky, then might even be Seed of Chucky, then Curse of Chucky, Chucky season 1, Child's Play 1. I think I got all of them in there, right?
I'm not sure. I'll
I'll
tell you.
make sure since we're doing season 3, for the next one, I'll make sure to write everything down. I forgot to do that. Um,
All
so
right. So
that will be a more exact ranking.
yeah, so I already had mine written down last time, of what I said. So I'm gonna just read because I just added season two. So number one is Child's Play, the first Child's Play movie. Number two is Bride of Chucky. Number three is Curse of Chucky. Number four is Chucky season one. Chucky season two is fifth. Number six is Cult of Chucky. Number seven is Seed of Chucky. Number eight is Chucky or Child's Play 3. And then number nine is Child's Play 2.
Okay.
So I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, I feel like you and I always sort of have different rankings for our movies or whatever. We don't usually it's very seldom that we like the same ones of something because that's the beautiful thing about sequels and reboots and all these different things is that like generally speaking, you're gonna have a different, you know, feelings than what I'm gonna have, you know. We've
Well,
got
and I'm not really a fan of a lot of the originals. I like what they do after them because
what
they seem
about
to have.
Scream? You don't like the original Scream?
I think Scream 4 is better than Scream. I think Scream 2 is better than Scream.
You're
Um,
crazy.
no, it's like, well, when I've talked to Philip, OGP, we've talked about Friday the 13th, and he's like, well, my favorite one is the original. I'm like, no, my favorite one is part two.
My favorite one's part eight.
So,
Yeah. Jason Takes Manhattan.
oh, sweet Jesus.
It was one of the first ones I ever saw that
You
like I
need,
got to watch on USA when USA used to show all the Friday the 13th movies back to back for marathons. I watched that one. I fucking loved it. I thought it was so much fun. I got to take a cruise with Jason, and then I got to watch him terrorize people in Manhattan slash Canada. It
I,
was a lot of
th
fun.
I think that one would be, I think that would be maybe my least favorite or second to least favorite. It's
No,
too long. It could have been two movies, which it should have been. Um, New York I mean, Canada does not replace New York very well. So yeah, I don't know, but I would go with two or seven would be my favorites.
no,
But see that's what makes this great.
yeah,
So
yeah. Now you can't. I'm gonna say one, and I swear to God, if you don't say the original, I'm done with you. Halloween.
no,
Oh, what is wrong with
no,
you?
because it Philip and I did our Halloween ranking, and for
Hmm.
this year it was for
Right, right.
Halloween.
You said that
Yeah,
you were doing that.
and no, Halloween was there, but it wasn't. I got to be honest. Halloween ends.
Oh,
I
no,
put
no,
before
we're done.
Halloween.
Okay, we're done.
Good night, everybody.
I'm gonna get another host for the show
We
now.
even ranked all of John Carpenter's movies, and yeah, OGP's was like number one, I think it was. Mine for Halloween was like way up here. Like I thought In the Mouth of Madness was better. I thought like Escape from New York was better. It's maybe it's like your mom. It's just like I've seen Halloween too many times, and it's so easy to say that it's the best one because it's the first one. Like I don't even consider the original Nightmare on Elm Street to be the best one. I
Oh
think part
God,
four is the best one.
but that's the movie that like put New Line Cinema on the map.
Doesn't
Like,
matter. So
did I
what?
tell you that story? Did I tell you that story that I was at the tour guide thing? So I was at the Warner Brothers, right? And I was sending you pictures, right? Like I sent you the
Uh-huh.
picture of Michael Bay Place or whatever. That might have been that. I think that was at Paramount. But I saw New Line Cinema at Warner Brothers, right? The office, and the tour guide was like asking questions to the group, kind of, saying, "So, do you guys know what movie was the movie that put New Line Cinema on the map, right, or whatever?" And so I raised my hand and because I knew the answer, right? Everybody else kind of shook their hand. He was like, "Hey, you." And I go, "Nightmare on Elm Street?" And he goes, "Yes." And that's why they say this is the studio that Freddy built, the house that Freddy built,
House that Freddie built,
yeah,
yeah.
and stuff like that. He knew all that information, but I mean, from that, I guess that's that's what they're supposed to. They're supposed to know that information. But the dude seemed pretty knowledgeable about movies, which was good.
Just because it's the first one doesn't make it the best. I mean, Empire is better than Star Wars. Godfather 2 is better than Godfather. I mean, it's just because it's the original doesn't make it better. Most
No,
of the time, a lot of times, yes, on that type of stuff. But
Jaws.
Jaws is the best one out of all of them. Yeah.
No,
But yeah,
you can't.
that I will say.
If you had said Jaws 3, I would have been like, or Jaws 4,
No, but Jaws 4 is Jaws Revenge is a Christmas movie.
and it's terrible.
It takes place at Christmas. How
But
dare
it,
you?
but it's fun terrible. It's our kind of terrible. It's Hollywood knockbusters terrible. I think we even had you do one
You
for
had me review Jaws. It's
I
one of
think
the
no, we
very
had
first
you
things, or Jaws Revenge, I
your
mean.
Jaws Revenge, and it was one of the first things we had you do on your own.
Yeah.
And that was for Shark Attack Sunday before Shark Attack Sunday became a thing where we had everybody, which we're bringing back, by the way. Next year, Shark Attack Sunday's coming back, so pick out three movies or so. Sadly it's just gonna be us three. It's gonna be you, me, and Paul, because Madeline, rest in peace, Madeline. We love you. We miss you. But uh that was, Jaws 4, Jaws, but yeah, I am one of those people. I do like the original Scream better than most of the other ones. It got me hooked. It got me into it. I like the original Ghostbusters better than the second or any of the other ones.
Oh, the original Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I like the original Friday the, well, no, that's not true. I said part 8 was my favorite. So not my favorite, but it's not a Jason movie. So I always like the Jason movies. I don't like Jason's mom as the killer. But I did interview back in the day Victor. Um, was it Victor? Was that his name? The guy who wrote the original Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I'm blanking myself.
I think his name
Victor.
was Victor, right?
It is
Uh,
Victor.
but anyway,
Victor doesn't matter.
yeah, just it's terrible. Victor
Well,
doesn't
everybody
matter.
knows. If you're watching this, then you probably know the guy's name. We're just blanking on it because we're old.
So anyway, he was talking to me and my friend Farron about Friday the 13th. And he was talking about how we, how like originally that was not the, it was not going to be Jason. It was going to be, it was always Jason's mom. And that was always the kind of the trick at the end. You think it's a guy or whatever, it's a girl. And he liked that. And then they went and made the sequel without him because he would not make it about Jason. And he was like, they're like, all right, we'll get somebody else to write it, you know? And it was not the movie he wanted to make. So that's why he's been having that battle, you know, over the rights and everything. Is a lot of it has to do with the fact that he doesn't, he had no interest in that, and he only wants anything to do with the first movie, I guess, and stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of crap with that. We don't even need, unless
Oh,
we ever go down that rabbit hole someday.
Victor Miller.
Victor Miller, yep. And he was a really nice guy. He talked about, he really wasn't a horror guy. He wrote soap operas, you know, and that was what he was more enjoyed doing. So, but he made a fun movie that made sequels, made a franchise. So good for him.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, was it Scream? Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween 1. I mean, all of those, I like the originals the most because I just enjoy the movies. Now, I haven't watched Halloween probably nearly as much as you have, but even then, I would say probably Halloween 1 and Halloween 3 are my favorite, you know.
Even Halloween 2, when
I
Philip
have
and
to
I
rewatch
reviewed
that.
them, oh my God, was that boring as fuck. All it is Lori just dragging herself through a hospital. It is so boring.
Well, what about Halloween Kills, which is Halloween 2, and
Oh, I hated Halloween
all
Kills.
she's doing is sitting on a fucking thing. She gets up 1 second and goes right back down to her
Yeah, then
bed.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the fuck.
No,
So
Halloween
you're
Kills
paying
is
her
awful.
probably a lot of money to just sit on her ass,
Oh, and she's a
do nothing.
producer.
Yeah, like fuck off, And then you're gonna go and you love Halloween Ends, but I'm not my
Very
thing.
underrated. I hated it when I first saw it. Then I rewatched it and I went, fuck, this is actually
I
really
watched it two or
good.
three times and I hated it. I just can't.
No,
I
it's
can't.
beautifully shot. It's better directed than any of them. It's almost parallel to the first one, to the remake of Halloween or the sequel to Halloween.
So for horror film lovers news right now, did you know that the Blumhouse is doing a new Exorcist
Yeah, with Mike Flanagan.
with Mike
And
Flanagan and freaking
well,
Scarlett Johansson?
yeah, that should be interesting.
That should be more fun than the crap that they tried to do before.
Well, we'll see. He's a big supporter of Chris Stuckman, and no, he Philip has this thing called his Mount Rushmore. So he has his actors up there, and then Matt Damon did a movie where he cameoed in a film called Unsane that he hates, and he goes, "Yep, Matt Damon fell off my Mount Rushmore." So I do more directors than actors, and Mike Flanagan was on my Mount Rushmore because of Shelby Oaks. He fell off. So he's
I
gonna have
mean,
to do a lot to get back on there.
I've
I'm
heard Carrie
sorry,
looks good.
Carrie, I think is utterly pointless. And I mean, even seeing the actress who plays Carrie is so wrong. Just in this case, I will say, get a fat chick. Carrie's fat. She is fat. So get a fat chick. Stop getting these really good-looking girls to be in
And
it.
the worst part is, isn't Stephen King usually now more heavily involved in these things? Wouldn't he be upset that it wasn't what he visioned for the character? Like, I guess he doesn't give a fuck anymore. He
No,
just
and he said that it's a combination of two girls that he went to school with. They were overweight. They had a lot of pimples, oily skin. Their hair was gross. And so if you read the book for Carrie, she's incredibly like unlikable. She's just not a nice person.
that's the I
You
think that's
know,
the thing that Hollywood doesn't like and can't get over that.
yeah, and then when you get what's her face who played Hit Girl, to be Carrie, it's like no, you would think that she'd be a mean girl, that the people who make fun of her would want her to be friends with her, because she's good looking. That's the problem. All these Carries are too good looking, except for Sissy Spacek, who I
Well,
thought got better looking as she got older, but she matched the character more in the book than any of them did. No,
yeah.
I'm not looking forward to Carrie at all. No,
Well, we'll see.
no.
You know. Well,
It's
we can
gonna take a
talk about
lot.
it, our thoughts at some point on this show or something, on another show. But it's going to be an interesting 2026. We're almost there, dude. Like
It's
we're
gonna be.
almost at a whole new year, man. Um, I don't know how we've survived. You know, we've survived a whole new year. Um, but anyway, everybody, I think that about wraps it up. I think we've pretty much talked about all the kills, our rankings,
Yeah,
our thoughts on Chucky season two. I mean, I liked it. I didn't think it was better or worse than the last season. I think it was about the same. I just I prefer I kept season one up there above season two in the ranking because I think that's what's going to end up happening is it's going to go season one, two, and three down there in a row. So anyway,
okay.
I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to season three, but even though this won't matter as far as us doing this, but we are taking a break for a week, which is nice. 'Cause I need a little bit of a break, but we will. It won't feel like a break because all of these episodes will go out like right in a row anyway. So, but we'll be very happy to share everything that we're doing and what's going on with you guys with us. So, thank you guys so much for checking this out. We'll be back next week for a brand new episode. Until then, everybody, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Chucky loves you.
Chucky just wants to be hugged.
He does.